Hey mommies! Thank you for tuning in. This is Adventures of a First Time Mommy. I am the first time mommy, Sabrina. This is my first time and co-host, Karina, who's knocked out. Today we're going to be reviewing how to use your Spectra 2 breast pump. So of course we'll go over the parts that you'll receive, how to assemble, and then how to work the pump and the settings. So let's jump right in. Now we're going to talk about the parts.
So here are the different parts. You have your Spectra 2 pump, the power cord. Everything in this shot, you'll get 2 of each, and it'll be your tubing, the bottle, duckbill flange, and the backflow protector. So we'll go over each now. First, you have your pump itself. This is a Spectra 2 breast pump. You have your display screen, and then you'll have your control panel. On that panel, you have your power button in this center bottom. Top center, you have your massage mode. Off to the left, you have your increase, decrease for your expression mode or your cycles. You'll have 5 different levels of that. Off to the right, you have your increase, decrease for your vacuum levels, and you have also 5 levels of those. Far right, you have your overhead light. You'll find the light is up here on the handle, obviously, so it shines down on your control panel and your screen. There are 2 levels for that. We'll go through all of these on the control panel during the demonstration. On the right of your pump, you will find where your power cord will be inserted. On the front of your pump, you'll see you have 2 ports, and again, that is for double pumping. If you are at a single pump, you have your cap that you would just cover one of the ports, and you can single pump. And it just slides right on there like so. On the back of your pump, you have this little, I guess, cubby. I'm sure its purpose is for a bottle holder. I've used a cup holder, put my phone in there, the remote. It comes for, it has more than one use for sure. Next, you have your power cord. Of course, this will go onto your outlet. This is the piece that goes to the right side of your pump. So you'll have your tubing, which will, yeah, that's not one of the parts. You keep that in your mouth, ma'am. Thanks. You have your tubing, which runs from the front of your pump to the back of your bottle, or the flange, really. You have your bottle, which holds 5 ounces or 160 milliliters or cc's. Your duckbill. And then you have your flange. It is 24 millimeters. Now, I can't remember if this is what automatically comes with your purchase or if there's options in the beginning. So if you didn't have any options when choosing your pump, this is what's going to come with it. And that measures this here, that's the circumference here where your nipple would go when you're pumping. So they do have, I believe, 3 different sizes on the Spectra site. As far as sizing, that's just, it depends on the size of your nipple, of course. Here you have your backflow protector, and it does what it says it does, is it prevents or protects your pump from any milk backflow from your bottle to your actual pump, because of course that would be catastrophe. So these are all your parts. Let's go ahead and move on to assembly.
Time to assemble. Yeah, let's get those parts together.
Okay, so for assembly, I already have it plugged in because that's easy enough. Again, it goes to the right side of your pump. On the front, we have our tubing, so let's grab that. Now, with this tubing, it is that kind of silicone type texture, so it's sticky, but there's a reason for that. So for the tubing, we're going to zoom in so you guys can see the port and the hole. Okay, so that just slides right on to the front. That on, so you got to kind of wiggle that on there. Okay, but the wonderful thing about it, and it being that silicone type, is that one, it's on there, it's on there pretty good. I think I've accidentally disconnected once, and that's because the whole pump dropped. So it's pretty secure on there, okay? So to go on to the bottle, okay, so again, we have our bottle. You're going to take your, let's move this over. You're going to take your duckbill and slide it right onto the bottom of the flange. You see it fits right on there, okay? Again, this is also that silicone. The instructions will tell you not to put this on while it's still wet once after you clean it. Because what will happen is it'll slide right off. So during pumping, it'll drop right into the bottle, right into your milk. It's not fun fishing that out. I've had to do it before. Take my word on that. So now we'll put the flange, and it just screws to the top of the bottle. Oh, I'm kind of a pro at that, huh? Ladies, you'll get used to doing stuff with one hand if you're not already used to it, okay? So there's that. Now the tubing does not directly go in the back of the flange. Why? Because we need our backflow protector. Again, this is what prevents milk from backflowing into the pump. So you'll have your two plastic pieces. When you get this, I believe it's already put together. So of course you'll need to reference this when you wash it, and you have to put it back together, okay? So these two, you have your two plastic pieces and then your membrane, your white membrane. Just for the sake of easier reference, I'm gonna call these boobs. We're all familiar with boobs. And you have your larger boob and your smaller boob. On your larger boob, the nipple is smaller. Smaller boob, the nipple is larger. My co-host is being really difficult with her pacifier right now. Sorry about that. So your white membrane is little indented in, and you'll see that it matches pretty much the same size of your smaller boob, and that's exactly where it goes. So it follows the shape of the smaller boob, okay? And you'll just press around the edges to get it to fit around the rim. Okay? So once that's fitted all the way around, you'll take your larger boob and put that right on the back. And just press down, make sure it's secure, okay? All right. So this is what's going to connect your bottle to your tubing. So you'll take the larger size, I feel like I'm saying boob a lot, and that goes in the back of your flange. So let's set this up so I can do this again with one hand. Okay, that goes to the back. Should be pretty flush against the backflow protector. Push it all the way in. There you go. You have no space in between. And then you'll go ahead and connect your tubing to the back of the backflow protector, which I cannot do with one hand, so intermission.
Okay, so that's the tubing connected to the back of the backflow protector. It should be pushed up against the backflow protector flush, just like the other side, right? Okay.
Now that you have everything connected, let's find out how all this works together.
But, how does it all work?
All right, so when you turn on your Spectra 2, you're going to see a whole lot of characters that are going to look so foreign to you. Hopefully, once you watch this demonstration, it won't be too crazy. I remember when I turned mine on, I was so lost, and it just looked just so confusing and overwhelming, honestly. So when you turn it on, you'll be on your lowest setting for your expression mode, the lowest setting for your vacuum, and you'll see that your time will start ticking. Now, to power it on, again, default, when you first get the pump, it's going to set it to the lowest setting of your expression mode, which is 38. Your timer has started in the middle, and you're on your lowest setting of your vacuum level. Now, just to better review the screen, your expression or cycle mode's on the left. It correlates with your buttons on the left-hand side. Same with your vacuum on the right hand. You're looking at level, I'm guessing, 0, 1. That's L01 for vacuum. It's on the right-hand side, correlating with those buttons as well. Now, in the middle, you have your timer it started. Your little pulse image here, it doesn't do anything. It's just there. So I mean, you can look at it, it's kind of boring. It doesn't change its pace. It's just there for decoration. Okay, so to go over the settings, on your left hand side you have 5. Again, that's 38, 42, 46, 50, and 54. Again, the expression mode or cycles are to mimic the baby sucking. So what it is, it's 54, 50, whatever the cycle is, 38, right? That's 38 times in and out that it's sucking, or in this case, pumping per minute. So if the baby's sucking faster, if your baby, if you know that it does, that he or she does, then you'd go to a higher cycle to mimic that better. Slow eaters, down to 38, right? So off to the right, you have your vacuum, and again, it's level 1 through 5, and that's just the intensity of the suction. So something to note, that when you change it within 38, it's gonna stay on the same vacuum as you go through your cycles. Whatever you change your vacuum to, it'll stay there for every cycle that you go through. It doesn't recognize, okay, 2 for cycle 3 or vacuum 3 for cycle 46. It doesn't do that. So just something to be mindful of. Just so you can kind of hear it, so you know what you're dealing with in the middle of the night. The motor in it, it's not too loud. And the bottle pumping is not too loud either. And that's on a 4. Put on a 5. Not that loud. What I will say is that because the motor is, inside the pump, whatever you set your pump on, it may vibrate a little. So hearing it on the bed versus a hard surface may make a difference. So I would test that out before breaking it out in the middle of the night and then you wake up your baby or your significant other. But as far as, my sleepers, they don't wake up. They don't hear it. Sometimes the baby moves and I think she's gonna wake up, but nah, she's good. Now for your massage mode, it'll put your cycle into 70. Again, the cycle is how many times in and out it's sucking or pumping. You'll know that you're in massage mode because A, it'll be 70, and B, you'll see your little symbol up top matches the button right above the 70. Now I say you'll know when you see 70 because you can't change your cycle when you're in massage mode. It's only the 1 and it's 70. You can, however, still change your vacuum level. That doesn't, go away. And if you notice, it's a little louder in massage mode. So there, that's about as loud as the pump will get because that's the highest cycle and the highest vacuum. So that's the loudest the pump will get. You vibrate intense on this bed too. So again, something to think about and to test out before you just break it out in the middle of the night. Now this next point is pretty important. For the sake of your nipple, please listen up.
No, seriously, I need you to pay attention to this part because it's gonna hurt like hell if you don't. Don't be mad at me if you don't listen. Be mad at yourself. I gave you a warning. You didn't take the warning. Be mad at yourself. Let's move on.
So say you're in your massage mode and you're at a 4 vacuum. You get out of your massage mode and maybe you're cycling somewhere at 46 and you're at a 3, okay? Your Spectra is going to remember the last cycle and the last vacuum you've had it on. Okay, so when you power off, and say you come back 2 hours later, you know, to pump again, you may forget what you had it on. So if you already have the flange, you already have your nipple in your flange and you're ready to pump, and you press power, you're jumping at a 3, which, depending on your sensitivity, is a big deal. More so when you go to your massage mode, you're already at 70 and at a 4. That's going to hurt so bad. It's gonna like pull your nipple extremely hard and you're not gonna like it. Trust me. It's happened to me once and it was a horrible experience. So please take my warning and know that it's very important just to take it all the way down. Check your other settings. Take it all the way down and hit power.
Time to turn the lights down low. Sexy eyebrow for dimming the lights. Okay, turn them off now.
Okay, so I've turned off the lights so that we can demonstrate how bright your overhead light is. So level 1, pretty bright, okay? Just so you can see, it doesn't really light up the room much, but it definitely lights up the surrounding area, okay? And of course, you'll be able to see your screen and your control panel. Go to level 2, a little bit brighter. Still doesn't really brighten up the room, but you have a larger cast of light, if you can see on the bed, around the pump, okay? So again, level 1, level 2. Another thing just to be mindful of, when you turn it on, because it's on the handle, right, the sides are kind of blocked. If you can see that on the bed, see where the lights cast, front and the back, not so much on the sides. I had to remember that and be mindful of that because I have my bassinet where my baby sleeps right next to my bed, and I have my pump on my bedside table. So I just have to be mindful that when I turn it on the light, the back of the front's not facing her bassinet and waking her up, right? Shining the light on her face. I just make sure that the side is what's facing her head or face so it doesn't wake her up or disturb her. That might be a tip that's helpful for you, okay?
Well, that is a wrap for this one, mommies. Thank you so much for viewing. Please be sure to like and share the video. If you have any feedback, please leave it in the comment section. If you loved the video, if you hated it, if you have any feedback for me to make it better, I will review and edit, because after all, this is to help all the other mommies in the world. Also, of course, subscribe. We'll be posting videos bi-weekly, and we'll go over various of just baby things, all things baby. Next video, we'll be reviewing these lactation treats that I order from a site called Milky Mamas, and I'll give my feedback on those. Please stay tuned. Again, subscribe. And until next time, we send peace, love, and good health to you and yours. Bye. Say bye. She's asleep. Bye, y'all.